Hello, my lovelies. No thoughts today. We're doing a tag because I want to. So, yay. Tags with Torrin. Haha, I can change the name of this show anytime I want. Seriously though. We're doing a tag. I went looking around YouTube looking for a tag that might be fun. So today's tag is the first time tag. Get your minds out of the gutters, you guys. That's not what it's about. It's all about different firsts. So I have my tablet because that's where the questions are. That way I didn't have to write them down. Yay! So let's get started, shall we? Alrighty, your first tweet. I actually had to go look. I had no idea what it was. You can actually, on Twitter, they have a thing where you can find what your first tweet was. So my first tweet was the 17th of December in 2009. And it was, okay, fine, I finally signed up just to follow my friends. So I have been a Twitter person since 2009. I have 2,000 and some odd tweets. Most of those tweets are my vids. When I post vids, it automatically posts to Twitter. Because I know some of you guys are tweetlings. You love the Twitter and you like when it pops up there. You're like, oh, awesome. I'll go check that out later, whatever. So that is mostly what I post. Although I will randomly, I live tweet the opening ceremonies of the Olympics every couple of years because I am a junkie about the opening ceremonies. But other than that, like every now and then I'll tweet, but I don't tweet very much. So if you do subscribe to me on Twitter, you know that mostly you get things from Instagram and you get notified when I post a video. That's about it. So I don't fill up your feed with random thoughts. Perhaps I should tweet more. I don't know. I know you're going to be so shocked. I find 147 characters to not be enough to express myself. Who knew? Okay, so that was first tweet. Your first YouTube video. It was how to use hair sticks. Super simple. That was my first YouTube video, and it was July 1st of 2008. I have been at this for a while, you guys. Yeah, that was my very first YouTube video was how to use hair sticks in a basic bun. Okay, first person you subscribed to on YouTube. I think the first person I subbed to was JJJ, long hair for you to see. It was either her or maybe Loopsy. I'm not positive. But I'm guessing it's one of those two gals. I can't really remember because that's like ancient history now. First Facebook profile pic, I went and looked. So this is my first Facebook profile pic. So now you know. My hair was actually up. Yes. Let's see. Do you still talk to your first love? My first love of what? Like my first friend that I loved, or my first like boyfriend? I guess that. My first love. No, I don't. I don't think so. Well, there's the first person I thought I loved, and then there's the first person I actually loved. If it was the first person I thought I loved, no. The first person I actually loved, yes, we're still friends. Okay, what was your first alcoholic drink? I'm gonna guess it was wine. I think it was a sparkly, sweet wine. On New Year's. Like when I was little, my gram would always make us kids Shirley Temples to toast with at midnight. Shirley Temples have no alcohol, of course. But I do believe at some point in high school, I was allowed to have a glass of Martini and Rossi Asti Spumante, which is still my most favorite, just so you know. I thought champagne would taste like Martini and Rossi Asti Spumante. Champagne does not. Champagne is disgusting. At least a few champagnes I've had. They're bubbly, but they're dry. Yeah, so I do believe it was probably a glass of martini and Rossi Asti Spumante. Because I'm classy. Classy. Let's see. What was your first job? The first job I ever actually made money at? Babysitting. I think that's going to be true for most ladies. Babysitting. What was your first car? A 1988 Chevy Celebrity. His name was Charlie, just so you know. Who was the first person to text you today? I have not been texted today. Nobody has texted me today because nobody loves me. Who was the first person you thought of this morning? Graham, actually. I was having a dream in which Graham and I were shopping somewhere, and they had all of these purses in like a lighted case, like big lighted jewelry cases of purses, and she found this really pretty purse. It was like lucite, and then on the inside there was some sort of silk thing. I don't know, it was like super cool, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's totally cute. And then I flipped over the price tag and it said $400, and then we just laughed and laughed and laughed, and then I woke up. I almost called my grandmother to tell her about my dream because I'm a weirdo that does that. So Graham, first thing in the morning. Who is your first teacher? My first teacher? Oh, my mom. My mom's the one that taught me things. She taught me how to write and spell my name and stuff, but if you mean in school, it was Mrs. Smith in kindergarten, and she was awesome. Where did you go on your first ride on an airplane? I was a grown-up by then. How old was I when Joe got out of the Navy? Was I 20? I think I was 20. Joe, my husband, was in the Navy then. We had dated. We saw each other twice. And then he went on a 6-month cruise in the Med, and we rode each other. And then he sent me a plane ticket to fly from Pittsburgh to Virginia Beach. And then his best friend's wife picked me up at the airport, and we drove to Norfolk. It's spelled Norfolk, but that is not how it's pronounced, just so you know, it's Norfolk. So we went to Norfolk, and I was there when the boat pulled in. And all the guys were standing up on the deck in their navy whites, and it was the most, I have goosebumps right now. It's still one of my most favorite things I've ever seen, because Joe was up there and he was wearing his whites. But that was the first time I flew. It was only an hour flight. I was very nervous, and the woman sitting next to me held my hand. She was probably around 60. Because I was nervous, she held my hand. So that was cool. My first flight was not so bad, because it was only an hour. But yeah, I got to fly in and meet my husband's boat. We weren't married yet, but we have now been married for 18 years. We've been married, I think we've been married for 18 years. I don't even remember. Awesome. Okay, who was your first best friend, and do you still talk? Well, what is a best friend? My kindergarten friends, my bestest friends were Tracy Logston, and I know she's married now, and I don't remember her new last name, but I do still see her from time to time when I'm in my hometown. Stephanie Morozak, who is now Stephanie Weaver, and we are friends on Facebook, but I haven't got to see her in a while, and Samantha Talbot, who is now Samantha Keith, although in my head she will always be Samantha Talbot, and we rekindled our love affair. Samantha was that girl that I thought was so totally cool. She would never be my friend, but she's like so totally nice as well. Who knew? That happens sometimes. And then she was my friend. And now that we're like old ladies together, we are the two coolest people I know. Not really, but we like to think we are. Anyways, I love her. So yes, of the three of them, I can still talk to any of the three. So yay. Where were we? Something about best friends. Oh, where was your first sleepover? I believe, I'm not positive, you guys. This is a long time ago. I'm 40. I believe it was Tia Ferguson's house, although it could possibly have been Trisha Medio's house or Holly Kaiser's house. I went to a lot of sleepovers when I was little because I was in dance lessons. So we did things where we went to dance, like in the summertime and stuff. Sorry guys, that was my foot. We did lots of sleepovers, but I think it was probably Tia Ferguson's house. What was the first thing? Now see, this is stupid. What was the first thing you do in the morning? No. What is the first thing you do in the morning? Or what was the first thing you did? Grammar, tag writers. Grammar. So what was the first thing I did this morning? It's the same thing I do every morning. I let the dogs out. I get a cup of coffee. Every day. That's what I do. What was the first concert you ever went to? I believe it was Aerosmith. I'm pretty sure it was Aerosmith, and Skid Row opened for them. Ha! How long ago was that? I think that was in 1988. Okay. First broken bone. I've never broken a bone. Huzzah! I haven't. I've never broken anything. I have incredibly dense bones. That's just something I found out about myself. First piercing. I got one of my ears pierced when I was in kindergarten, and it hurt so bad I wouldn't let them do the other one. So I got them re-pierced sometime in elementary school. I don't know, maybe 4th grade. I had to go get them re-pierced, and the one hurt a lot because I had to go through scar tissue, but yeah, it was my ears. First foreign country you've gone to. Canada. It is also the only foreign country I've ever gone to, and it was in Niagara Falls, so yay, I've been to Canada. First movie you remember seeing. I think the first movie like we went and saw was at the drive-in, and I think it was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Back in the day, before they had DVDs and Blu-rays and VCRs even, you had to go out to the movies to see movies. Especially because where we live, we didn't have cable. When I was little, I don't even believe cable existed. I don't even think there was HBO yet. Anywhoodles, the Disney movies, they would re-release every summer. So you could go and watch Disney movies every summer. They would just release them. So I do believe it was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs at the drive-in. I'm not that old. Snow White came out in like the 30s. I'm not that old. It wasn't like original. When was your first detention? I never had detention. I was a good student and a nerd, and I didn't get in trouble. It's just, I didn't. Never had detention. Who is your first roommate? My husband's. I never had a roommate. All through college, I paid for a private room. No kidding. What is the first thing you do when you get home? Take my clothes off and put on my pajamas, or my leisure wear, my active wear, my lounging clothes. Yeah, first thing I do when I get home. Go put on comfortable stuff. And then I hang up my nice clothes because then we don't have to do laundry as often. Let's see. When was your first kiss? I do not know. I am pretty sure I was 17 years old. Boys didn't like me, just FYI. I was very, very tall. I was very thin. I thought I was fat, but boys didn't like me. I'm pretty sure I was 17 before I actually got kissed. Who did you watch first on YouTube? I will almost guarantee you it was a cat video or a dog video or something. It was this video of animals. So there you go. Alrighty, that was my first times, because I know you were just dying to find out all that stuff. Whether you were or not, I don't know. But it's fun. I will put the tag questions under here, and I'm going to go ahead and fix the grammar. Yes, what are we doing tomorrow? I am hoping my Etsy glam bag gets here. Etsy. Yes, awesome. Ipsy Glam Bag gets here. You know what I'm really bummed about? So I bought the Threadbanger box and I don't have it yet. I was really expecting it to come fairly early in October so we could do the craft. And as you guys know, next week is my week off. But since it is working out that way, that means we get the week of like Halloween on. So if it does come, we will do that. If it comes in the middle of next week though, I might do like an unboxing video. You'll just get a random video during my week off. It could happen. It could happen. So that might happen still. But yeah, I hope it gets here. But I'm really hoping Glam Bag gets here either today or early tomorrow, although that won't work because my mail doesn't run until 5 o'clock sometimes. I'm hoping we get it so that we'll have something for tomorrow. Otherwise, I don't know. All right, I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Otherwise, I'm just going to sit here talking forever. We know how I am. Okay, love you guys. Bye.